Hello!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of The Plight of Princes. Two sessions, 2 weeks in a row. Heresy. Where last
Nothing
our
bad
beloved
will
players
happen,
left
I'm
off.
sure.
Sure, Jane. Anyway, where last our party left off, they were in talks with a green dragon, an ancient green dragon, referred to in the common tongue as Old Gnarlbone, who made a pact with them, a deal, a verbal but sworn one. Should this dragon destroy an object, they would go and kill all within and burn down a Githyanki creche, leaving certain objects behind and touching and not touching other things. The party were also promised that they would have the path they would need to take to get to this location and then to leave the forest. With the dragon's eyes always on them through their spying familiars to the party's presumption, they debated heavily on Can we? Should we? How are we going to do this? This came to two of the party members, the blood hunter Poe and the cleric of Barona, Runara, who have decided to take it upon themselves to go to this crash and to tell these people, leave. Just leave. You need to go. And after a very tense and dangerous situation with one of Lakit's chosen, they were told, give us till noon. And if you come a moment before, I will hunt you all down like dogs. And that's where the session ended, was on that moment. And we're going to pull back slightly as those two have moved off in the middle of the night. And we're going to pull back to somebody who's currently potentially losing at chess. One in
Do
this
we want to
moment.
roll for that?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys want to roll to see if you're going to win or lose chess?
We have to have
Obviously.
we have to have the chess roll to alleviate the situation.
Mm-hmm. Chess checks, please.
Oh, let's go!
Roll, you can still get a higher number.
So one could still
Okay.
beat you. One actually is losing.
Widdick's actually playing 8D chess, is the problem.
Riddick often beats one.
Widdick, stop
That's
playing
true.
a PK situation and just eating the fucking pieces. It's illegal.
Good game as always, Widdick. How's your god doing?
Man, other than giving me a very faint sign earlier, I haven't really talked to him much.
You should do that where possible. In the meantime, I'm gonna go get the kids out of trouble. You want to look after the bird and the dragon
Sure,
and the
I got it.
druid. Alright, I'll be back. And one stands up and starts wandering off.
Hey, Widdick, give me an insight check. You're happy you beat them at chess? You beat her at chess? You're happy out? What could they mean? Right. I've taken what I describe as barroom napkin notes on the math of this. So, 1. How would you like to proceed?
Well, you know what I'm doing. Shall I start doing rolls and then they'll start to get the hint of what's going on, or do we want to flavor it first and then start rolling?
The scene is yours. I'm just the director, but you tell me what the actor is doing on stage.
One wanders off into the woods. She knows where to go. The dragon made sure of that. She looks up to the moon and says, do try to look after them. Make sure none of this filth gets back to them best you can. Your one in particular, doesn't like the idea of heroes, and I get that. They're part of stories, but so are anti-heroes. They're just stories. They don't need to play roles. They had the capacity to win this war from day one. They just had to grow a bit. They don't need to change how they do things. Me, on the other hand, well, gotta do what I do best, I suppose. I'd say mechanists have mercy, but I wish for the opposite, at least in regards to me. And I'm going to take my hands and sink them deep, deep into the earth.
One hand in the stub.
Yep. Very poetic.
Would you like to make your first Archon roll?
Yep. What am I rolling for that?
So, are you attempting to detect all nearby corpses?
Yep.
Okay. So, there are certain spells like detect undead, detect certain creatures, detect certain categories. This is for the detection of things which have a corpse, a body, but none of those categories. It is different to spells but does not currently exist. And it is not a lightweight spell. So I'd say it's going to be something in the category of a level 3 to 4. With that and the fact that you do not know the spell, depending on its radius you want to have it at, the DC is going to begin at 16. And if you want to extend the radius beyond anything of 100 meters of you, the further on you go from that is going to extend it by every 2 points of a DC. It's going to increase it by 200 of the distance. So if you want to see everything within 300 meters of you that is a corpse, it is going to be DC 18 and so on.
All right. So Arcana roll was typically the one you
Arcana
went for.
check, please. Yes, please. DC 16 to begin with. Okay. Your fingers on your still hand and your focus hums within your forearm. That portion replacing a bone within you. There's this hum to it as you can see this unlight, as if black light were erupting from within the ground where you have sank your hands in, and it sinks deep. You're probably to your elbow. And in that way where you have used detect magic and you understand how it works, the difficulty and the challenge of this spell is that corpses tend to be buried. And a lot of spells like this type, their issue is passing through material. Your spell, by its nature, needs to pass through material. So, to ensure that you get the best out of this you can, that's the performing of the spell. Now you must actually carry it. It's now been activated. Now you have to use it. I'm going to require another Arcana check from you. This is Arcana, not. This is just an arcane roll. Just an arcane roll, basically, for yourself. Same thing, same principle, but this does not have the fallback negatives of an Arcana check. So just make an arcane check, please. I know I've said the same thing twice, but pseudo different.
The
Okay.
dice have an agenda.
The dice have an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
So, you pierce out and beyond. And because of that check, you pierce out and you see beyond, I'm going to say within a mile of you, in a radius. So essentially from the center point where you are, it's 2 miles either side of you in a diameter. And even down and deep into the earth, you can sense corpses. You can sense skeletons. You can sense bones which have nearly fully given way back to the earth. You see moments and glimpses of ends of lives, be it beasts being hunted, battles being fought, times where this was just a field, times where this was a portion of a swamp or a bog, portion where this was barren by fire and death. And in that, you sense 50 humanoid bodies, 2 large bodies, one huge body. Do you attempt to wake them up?
Ghost of the past. Come.
This is going to be a new Arcana check because this is beyond the capacity. So, to give you an idea, I am using the spell Dance Macabre as my basis for this in a way. As Dance Macabre is. Contact now, I'll pull it back up.
A fucking
Friday.
sick spell.
It's a fifth level. It's a fifth level spell. Firstly, it's a
No,
sixth
no.
level spell.
It's a
It's a
sick
sixth
spell.
spell. It's a sixth spell.
It rules.
And it is a fifth level spell that allows you to raise 5 smaller mediums. So,
I'm just going to put that up on the thing so people can see.
to give you an idea, it's only 5 and they're relatively close to you. How much of what you can sense do you want to get? Are you going to
Okay.
try and go whole hog?
Well, the way I figure it, I don't need all my bones, but I need all these ones. Go whole hog.
Okay. You are aware of the spell Dance Macabre. You are augmenting it to be much more powerful with a much extended radius. The DC for this, I'm going to set also because of the intensity of distance as well. And the number of bodies. This is going to be a DC 25.
Also worth noting that one is actively offering parts of themselves to get this done.
In what way are you intending to do that?
Don't need these arms where I'm going.
Okay. Make your Arcana check. Make your Archon roll. And we go from there. But you might not need help if you pull it off.
Necromancy, necromancy. It's time.
That's it's illegal.
It is.
Illegal if you get caught.
So is breach of contract.
Which is why the paladin was not told about where they're going.
Mhm.
Well, plausible deniability.
There is this moment, where your mind turn back, even to that first day in Neverwinter with all of them, and every event you've had, standing up to the Fae for Low, traveling all the way up to the north, all the way up to Icewind Dale itself, up to Bryn Shandar, traveling across all of Faerun that you know, having talks and discussions of potentially red sorcerers from the east, talking about necromancers and cultists who fought into one another and against one another, fused together and formed you. Roll 1d100 roll, please.
1/7 short of a jackpot.
Please open your character sheet and go to the notes section.
We have a note section? Bio?
Into there, please.
Yep.
Many beings across don't write this down yet, I'm just describing. Many beings across the material plane have to make deals, bargains with greater demons, with foulest of entities in the realms to learn dark arts. It is part of your very essence. And you feel like a portion of it might have just clicked open. And a comprehension of a ritual once attempted many years ago. One, please note, you know the ritual to become a lich. And as that knowledge tinges the back of your mind, you pull out your arms. And as you're pulling them out, you pull them out with like one clawed out, and then you pull out the other one, and it's almost like there's green necromantic energy of bone of a claw onto the other one around your arcane focus as your hands pull out of the soil. And you can just hear in the distance soil turn and move. How far away did you go from camp before you performed this ritual?
I'd have a great idea to lay out the forest, but I was getting the idea that I would try and cast it like a bit further than where I felt I would be an eye shot, like because presumably I knew where I was going. I don't know if that gave me distance per se, but I wanted to stop, a good couple of minutes before I would see the place, if that
So
makes sense.
close to the creche, but away
Yes.
from the party.
Yep.
Okay. So this ritual, by the way, is not an instantaneous thing. You are there. For you, it is instant. For the narrative and for all those around you, it is 1 hour. And the only reason there are no negative penalties are present because your rolls were as they were. Beating the DC to do the simple spell, not so simple, but to do the spell itself. Also, please mark down for yourself in your spells list, you always have the spell Detect Death unlocked. And then you rolled an Arcana check of a 33, giving you full touch to them, sense and location, and you pulled them out of the earth. Please note that you now have an expanded version of Danse Macabre. However, it is always tied to a DC 25 if you intend to do it at this scale. Should you fail it, there are caveats that you do not know. Caveats that you, before this, were willing to accept, but you do not know. And you pull it up. You can already tell the bones of a hill giant mound together as one. The bones of two bull owl bears who killed each other for dominance in a bog 20, 50 years ago rise up. Soldiers with tattered armor from once houses who loathed one another pull themselves from dirt and soil and mire. And you are, at this point still, probably about 1 a.m., probably about 2 a.m. We shift perspective. Your hearts are racing. You have a lump in your throats as you step away. Noon. You've been told the time. You have learnt who Nulak is related to now. That this seemingly intensely loyal servant of Blakith has a child. And this child is Jakas. Runara Poe. Your minds are swirling with all of this additional information that you now have. And the tension of this plead. One, when you perform the spell, all of them rise up and then they all come together in one location and then move to whatever your order is. But they all come and go to you first. Runara and Poe, both of you have decent, if not great, perception checks. And I'll say this for Poe as well, and for Runara for different reasons. One is the haunted memory ability that blood hunters have of a location. The grim psychometry. And a being of life and the hearth. And a servant of the life and the hearth, seeing or feeling a twist to it, an aversion to it. I will also say the temperature in the high forest has dropped 15 degrees in night. You can see your breath in front of you. It is bone cold right now. And for Wittick at the camp, that fire dropped quite rapidly. You'd have to do a lot more log and activating and kindling it to rise it up further. But it got cold very quickly. You two see, probably about 100 foot off, bones and limbs pulling themselves out of the earth. Skeletons. And some have weapons. Some remove weapons from torsos where still a portion of chain-linked vest holds a sword lodged in like a sheath. Just pull it out and move towards one location. You see one or two or three in your distance, moving in one location.
Jesus, sorry. Mentally, absolute whiplash because nothing I was gonna do is now relevant.
Yeah.
Runara, we've got to go. We gotta go.
Uh-huh.
We
Aware.
have unintentionally backed out of this. And I think that might be consequences.
Have we backed out of it? We didn't. There was nothing in the contract saying we couldn't warn them first.
Yes. None of this is what I thought we were doing here. Just have this moment of like looking at Runara and Runara looking at her like this did not go according to plan. In fact, it went the exact opposite of the plan, as much as there was one.
Where?
We should go back to them. Maybe we fucked this up, but they deserve to at least know. Right?
I guess.
You coming with me?
Uh-huh. Yes, honey, we're going.
Weird, didn't think we were at that stage yet.
So I need to go
You
back
two.
for a second.
Good
Someone
for
at the
you
door.
two.
Can't believe
Okay.
this.
You can't believe this. Try getting at 2 a.m. the night that this all happened last time.
Not that. The fact that Kate just wandered off in the middle of my RP.
Someone's at the door!
No, it's Honey.
Someone's at the door and it's not just Honey.
Honey is barking because somebody is at the door.
There we are.
I still holding Runara's hand and just like in complete emotional like whiplash of like having just done something that is so against
Character.
everything. Yeah, it's like this is not what I came here to do, this is not what I thought I would do, and this is not the person I thought I was. Just like holding Runara's hand seemingly to encourage her to move, but it's actually for my comfort.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna start like gently
Right.
pulling, like slightly shell shocked still, trying to pull Runara back towards where the party was.
Whilst you're in that state, I'll give you a concentration check, a constitution check for you
I say what?
to maintain your current form of identity.
Oh fuck that! I'll be Pox.
Cool.
I don't want to be a Gith right now.
You pull back, and you are Pox.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Horns and
she
all.
even stated that she had dropped the thing whenever she came out of invisibility last
You
week.
are correct.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, you dropped
yes,
it then.
Transparency fully dropped.
It's
there, you're
fine.
right.
Yeah, no, we are. To be overt about the symbolism, there's no way she could be anything but just her right now. Like there is not enough cognizance to hide. It's like this. I maybe fucked this up by doing the first good thing of my life, but
Okay,
I don't
Odysseus,
know
let's-
that.
Yeah. Let's go.
I don't know that yet. Let's just move.
Okay. You make your way back.
I'm
To
just
camp.
holding Runara.
You guys make your way back to camp. And as you go,
I'm sprinting.
you feel big, heavy foot treads. Boom, boom, boom. And you kind of freeze in that moment of what's nearby us. And you hear this low, groaning, and you can just see like two witch lights hanging in the canopy. A hill giant with green, sickly eyes. It is most of its material flesh is slothed off. But I'm going to say, as there's a horde of dead beginning to move to that location, perception checks from you both, please.
Not to fully Bramble the Mountain King us, but I'm gonna like drag Renara behind a tree, and we're just gonna like,
That right for Runara?
yeah. We're going through things emotionally as characters, and now this.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure
Feel
neither.
really-
I'm sure you have dark vision, but I'm pretty sure Runar absolutely doesn't.
I don't. We've discussed this before.
Ah, the
Changelings
Podo.
don't get dark vision.
I
They
do
get
not.
enough.
We get enough, and also like we're not necessarily from the dark. We're just
Valid point well
fey
made.
creatures. We're just little gremlins.
Oh, I
kinda
do have dark
nice.
vision. That's a complete lie. See,
Oh right, you're an angel.
do?
Yeah,
Way!
I'm so used to playing characters that don't have it.
I have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uno reverse, bitch. I
Unfortunately,
assumed
you
I've
rolled
had it
a
this whole
1.
time.
Otherwise, this would be much easier.
Dark vision only works if your eyes are open.
Yes, and you're just there like wincing and freezing. So you guys pause for that moment, and you're there as you hear like essentially in front of you. Everything is behind you right now. You hear in front of you rustling bushes, and you can just see the skeletal face of an owl bear. And then right next to it, the skeletal face of another owl bear. If you've ever seen the corpses of elks who died fighting in ice, meshed together, it is of that equivalent, but it is owl bears. Like this quadruplicate form where like there's essentially 8 limbs mangled and twisted together, moving, and they just seem like they're moving directly at you for a moment, but then they pass and go.
And they're heading in the direction that we're going,
No, they're heading in the direction that all the other corpses are going.
which was sorry, remind me.
To us, it's towards the crash.
Oh,
Slightly towards the crash.
Yeah.
Not quite. It's going somewhere else
Ye-
first.
should we stop them? You were muted, or I think that didn't come through to me.
Ow.
She's whispering.
Oh.
Sorry,
Stage-
I forgot I need to
stage
stage
whisper.
whisper. How?
Ow.
We can work that out.
Oh my
It's
god.
more of a.
Wait, is this the character I have the fucking horn of silent alarm? Is this character?
Check your goddamn inventory, woman.
You think I
I don't
maintain that bitch?
I don't know what the range is of that.
No.
The question's more, should we, not how. I didn't know how we were going to set that place on fire, but we decided to do it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think
and
the, I
that
don't
plan
think-
went really well.
I don't think these I don't know if they're even albos anymore. I don't know if they're going to have the same restraint.
I don't know.
Fuck.
Should we get the
No.
others?
No. They'll be dead by them. You should get the others.
No, I'm not walking away from you.
You should. But you should.
No. Immediate no-go.
Oh. You feel like just through the canopy a slight light touch your shoulder from the moon.
Can you tell them?
Go. Stay with her. Don't let her do anything drastic.
What if we do something drastic?
Don't let me do it. It means you've got to do it first.
That's the problem.
And as you pose that question, you hear, just very faintly as it's like fading away in a whisper, then listen for the howls. And Widdick. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy, a friend who's awake.
Yeah.
Alert for birds.
So Chief, how best to describe what's gonna happen in
what the
this segment?
fuck is going down?
So Widdick, you feel like essentially like it's almost like a force to the head of just because you've not actually really spoken with the moon, if at all. I don't believe.
No, not much. Like maybe one time.
Maybe once is actually the point. Once is the gap, the door, the leg in the door.
Yeah.
You basically hear like a faint whisper with a familiar voice trying to get your attention. Do you listen?
Yes, because I would basically seeing that it's a familiar voice, thinking it's Primus, being like, "Oh, hey, he's contacted me. Thank God." Fucking left him an
Finally, he
email
responded to
3
my
weeks
text
ago.
message.
You know what this is, Widdick? This is what happens when you're like, oh, thank God they finally called me back, but you don't have their number, like, you know, put down with the short. So you don't know, and you answer it, it's like, you're not who I expected.
How?
So you open your mind to that thought, and you just all at once, as if a dozen voices say your name at once, Widdick, all at once, as if a surge
Hello?
of urgency. I'm Poe's friend.
Right?
You need to wake everyone.
Okay.
Follow the path to the creche. 3 of your friends have gone to do something rash in 2 different ways.
Okay, dokie. All right.
And if one of
But
them does what they intend, and then there's this moment where you have this brief flash, and I'm going to actually ask you for a wisdom saving throw. As someone's basically attempting to project an image on you. Roll with advantage, because this is not a being from this plane. So you fail. So, DC 25. Do you think this motherfucker's gonna have anything smaller? You get this image of everyone in the camp. It just flashes briefly. They are just corpses mangled about you, from rested, covered positions to mangled, with new locks blade at your neck. I've always wanted to fight you. And then that flashes and it's gone again. Don't let them go.
Okay.
Follow
gonna-
the path, the path, the path, the path.
Just a little
So
bit of flavor. I imagine Cats at the chess table was, trying to set up the chessboard as best it can, but then it just takes the king, the black king, and just yeets it.
No. Yes, but no.
Yes, but
I'm gonna
no.
one up this a little bit better.
Go for it.
Widdick, whenever sometimes they're away, Cat sometimes takes the place and plays. What you realize in this moment, Cat has put themselves into check, and the king is exposed to a rook.
okay. Right. Well then. Wakey wakey. Boom boom. You just hit off the shield.
I never left for y'all. Y'all not ugly because of me.
Oh god, wait, please. We'd only just gotten to sleep.
I'm sorry, but something's come up.
Oh no. Can't we even get a good night's sleep here? Hey, look.
To be honest, I'm not sure we're gonna do.
Oh no. What's happening?
I thought one was just gonna go do something simple, like talk. Apparently that is not a thing that's happening. Something else has happened that's going to be more drastic, and so we need to get going down the path.
Oh, why did you let one go on their own? We know that letting people go on their own is dangerous.
Usually. But one normally tries to be diplomatic. The other two I also wandered off.
Wait,
I
two?
just now
What,
noticed.
who else? Who's here?
Eric waking up pseudo is like, wait, who else left? What? Ow. What?
Poe and Runar are not here.
Serenus, are you awake? I imagine you're starting to wake up.
He's just kind of just a bit confused, just kind of wondering what's going on.
Just gonna walk over, be like, I understand. You're a little sleepy. I grab him by the back of the shirt.
Grab like
lift
Cat.
him, yep, grapple him, put him up onto Garm. Please get on the animals.
Widdick, why is half the party missing?
If you looked in Renara's tent, all that's in there is a weapon.
Yes, if you actually went and looked, it is just the hammer.
Yeah, I was
Hammer
gonna
that she
say.
got from Verona.
I will grab the hammer and go, why is that here?
That
Bring
weighs
that
about
with.
50 pounds for you, by the way. Not yours.
Red.
I know, I get that.
We have their shoulder dislocated. You're like, ooh, wait.
Red, 9 p.m.
Just need some pumping real quick.
Get the
All right.
bob. For
Yeah.
you, it's literally doing iron.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anything else important that's been left?
Nah,
Do you-
fam.
Poe doesn't have anything that isn't on their person.
Right.
Anything they own is strapped to their body.
I'm just checking.
I mean, the only thing is obviously the moon is always watching.
Yeah, again, the main thing I only know is that Poe's friend gave me a message basically stating that
Fuck!
issues have been happening.
Kika will just look straight up at the moon and just ask, "What's happening?" Is Kika spoken to the moon?
Yes. Oh, that's 2 talks in 2 different people in a short time. Hang on. It's a 9. Okay, nope. Gonna have to use a legendary resistance to pop that so that he can tank it. So he's able to talk to you again. There's an exertion of people wanted them to run, to leave, to get out. But somebody has decided to just throw hell at the creche. And it will not win.
Oh no. Okay. Let's go. Okay, we need to go.
The elk is still here.
I was gonna say, you guys faster flying or rather ride?
I mean, if we're getting down into the minutiae of movement speeds, the slowest that Kika goes is 60 feet, so she's fast. I don't know if that's as fast as you. We'll do whatever's faster.
Also, you can't take the elk because I have to give it commands.
If the elk won't
Otherwise,
listen,
otherwise, I think the wording is it will just sort of defend itself.
if the elk won't listen,
Right.
the birds will fly.
Yep. Birds fly, and you two get on
What
Garm and
proverb is
Boogie.
this? I'm just saying, if the elk won't listen.
Yeah.
The
So
birds will fly.
Kika is slower than Kayak, and Kika can go at 60 foot. Kayak can go at 80.
150 on Garm.
Yeah, the creature's friendly to my companions, but I have to use a bonus action to command how it moves.
There we are. So
So
it ain't
yeah,
going nowhere.
the birds are plenty fast enough to keep up with Garm.
Garm can dash and everyone boogies. Garm cannot be slowed in any way, which makes a big help. And essentially flying together with Garm and Serenus underneath on the beast, with it and you guys mosey, we swing back. It's gonna take you guys, I want to say, maybe 45 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, because those 2 walked, they didn't run. It'd probably even take you less time, probably take you 15. Because you aren't just moving at an accelerated pace, you're moving fast. So it's gonna take you guys about 15 minutes, but you 2, Chuckle Fox, we now swing right back to you. Are you making your way towards the dead? Making your way towards the dead?
Sorry, I was making a meme. I was specifically making this meme. I think Poe is trying to go back towards the party.
No, it's not.
Okay, we need to. Okay, then we have to RP about it.
Well, we just have to RP. Okay.
Oh no!
Fine, you twist.
Oh,
I didn't want to
what
RP
are you
in this
gonna do with
role-playing tabletop
This is a
game.
dragon
God
session.
damn.
I definitely haven't been scripting anything. I've thrown out the window for a week.
How dare you make me RP in this TTRPG?
Yeah. The fuck?
I think Poe is just like, we need to get back to the others. We need to make sure they're okay and warn them.
But the gift will be dead.
So?
But we didn't really want to kill them all, right? We just told them to get the fuck out.
We did just tell them that.
And now
Was
they're not
that
gonna have
really-
time.
Okay, what do you want to do?
I'm sorry.
What do you want to do?
Is there any?
I'll help.
Okay. Is there any undead in eyesight? No.
Already moving away from you, like going through the bushes, is the owlbears, which have the owlbear amalgamation is probably the closest one, and it's gone. It is about probably like nearly 100 foot, if not more, gone from you again. If not further again, probably like nearly 300. But you know the path it took because it's basically yanking bush. It's not like passing through; it is taking shrubbery with it.
Else don't you fucking ever look like that ever.
This stream does not approve of yanking bush.
Shut up.
on this Christian microcosm.
Okay, back in the room. We need to go and try and slow him down.
Okay. Let's take the quick away.
The quicker way is the way they came.
You willing to come up in the trees with me?
No. I can't go. I'm fucking heavy. I have a suit of fucking armor on.
Gonna cast spider climb on you.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, never mind. Now I'm a monkey.
Because I can do it.
You do it basically from the boots, isn't it?
I've just got really high acrobatics.
Fair.
Well,
Is that
let's fucking go.
concentration? Yes. Yeah. That's an hour. That one costs 10 minutes. That's also concentration. Forget it. Yeah. Trees will try and cut them off.
Okay.
They're
all we've got to do is get
dumb.
in front
They're
of
all
them.
just following each other.
Let's just get in front of them, and then we can deal with it.
Let's go.
We go.
Yeah,
Full
you
sprint.
make your way towards essentially cutting them off at the pass, essentially.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna try and go up in the trees and try and like go overhead of them because I'm hoping because they're all undead. And I think Pox would know enough about this. They're basically skeletons. None of them will think to look up because they don't think for themselves.
I cast Sanctuary on Pox.
Okay, that's always a good shout.
Do you need me to make an acrobatics or athletics to do this? Just for transparency, because I only cast
I
spider
will-
climb on Runar.
I will request one from yourself. Yes, please. And
I
I'll
would-
say to get up, it will be athletics to physically climb.
That's
is what
fine.
I can help. I can give her a boost.
Yeah, is that fine?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll take the
Help
advantage. 18.
Okay. That's
Just to be clear, Dash, they are coming towards the undead are coming to me before they march on the crash,
Yeah.
correct?
Basically to get
they're coming
orders,
to
right?
you to get orders.
Yep, excellent,
Yeah.
excellent.
That's where we are right now. Heavens
But yeah.
above, what an
Yeah, my
impressive-
athletics and my acrobatics are almost the same. So
All good, all good, all good.
you let me know what to roll and I will roll it.
Yeah, at present, that's where you are. And right
Great.
now, I'm desperately trying to clear out a map because I now need to use it.
Amen.
Tokens.
I've been there.
Oh, you're on the map there. Why the fuck are you on the map layer? Anyway,
Because
you're
we
not
live
wrong.
here.
Not you. Okay. So, let me grab this. Grab this. Okay. So, where I'm gonna do is, you guys are continuing along the path in order to do this, and you're doing it at pace as well. Which is all stuff that adds up. Okay, player characters, I'm going to put essentially at this Y junction, we're going to have both Poe
It's all black.
and Renar. That's fine. I will amend it shortly. One sec. Do.
SQ dynamic lighting.
There we go.
I literally had to turn it back off and on again and off. again.
Yeah,
I literally go pop pop. So
it's
I'm gonna
how
put you
it
guys together.
works.
Now then.
Lou has got a crepe. Do 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 do.
Lou
got
has
it's got
a
chocolate in it.
crepe.
Yeah, I can
Chocolate
see
crepe?
that.
Spook bunny
make it?
tea and biscuits.
No, that's spook.
Emotional support.
Don't be stupid, Darren.
He's been trying.
Go to him. He has been. Look.
For
He's
about
learning-
remember-
25 years.
That
He's
crepe doesn't
learning-
look balanced. so-
He's learning how the air fryer works.
Okay, well that's pretty good start. 'Cause it's fairly simple. Is he dehydrated any fruit yet?
I was gonna say he's trying to get rid of me once.
No, but
He's
he,
gonna
he-
dehydrate me in the air fryer.
no, but he almost dehydrated this crepe. If you're listening, that was a joke.
for legal, for marriage reasons, that's a joke. Oh Yay! Look at all these guys.
Oh my goodness, there's so many of them. Yay.
Same if a cleric was about to walk up.
A cleric and a blood hunter enter a field of undead.
I
The
mean,
end.
physically, I couldn't have picked two better fuckers to be here right now.
I mean, you can.
I
but
mean,
you would
the other
confirm
one
it's
was
they're
Witter.
easier to kill.
Well,
There's
you
Witter.
could basically replace either of us with Wittick, and it's probably better.
But replace me with Wittick. Replace, please.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
no,
I'm
no, no.
pretty sure you can't do better than a cleric and a paladin in a field of
Oh no,
undead.
what's the hill giant eating? Undead don't eat.
That is an adventurer. That is a player. Oh no, it's not.
No, it's not.
That's
It's a mouth of Grelontor.
oranges. That's either oranges or a very strange bikini top.
Okay. You guys prepare yourselves. You can
pumpkins.
just see, you can see this horde. Yeah, they're like whole-grown pumpkins. You
Mm.
guys can see this horde approaching, and at the very center of it, at the back, you see a familiar figure. One. Two of your friends are here.
I'm just I was just looking around and starting to do a head count, and I say, not even enough for a scouting force. I'm gonna have to. Oh, you two.
What are you doing?
You have completed your contract. You have committed no crime. I strongly recommend you leave.
No.
You understand what I've done is punishable regardless, correct?
Oh yeah.
So were you here to stop me and slay me?
I was here
We're
to stop
not-
them.
We're not really in a position to be making harsh moral judgments. We're not exactly standing on high ground in that regard.
You've done nothing wrong. I'm going to make sure of that.
Funny, we just had a very similar conversation.
We've already.
I figured you would have.
We've already
Let
done
me
something
guess,
we
you went up
regret.
and talked to them?
That ended up happening. It's not what we wanted to do. We were gonna do, well, not exactly this, because I can't do this, but spiritually this. Just
That's
quieter.
fine.
Look, you're
Well-
not gonna get judgment from me. I can't. But
Fine,
I
I've
don't
already
know.
gotten judgment from myself. When
I
this
know
is
that.
done, I will get judgment from everything. Including my friends here. Hey, best I can, I hope to pay forward with bits of my soul. Not that it's enough.
what are you talking about?
You who don't understand what law
No.
is. Consequences. Actions and consequences. It's much simpler that way. You understand that perfectly. It's just when you attach strange words like law to them, you think of them differently.
In that everything is just actions and consequences. That doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. It's just actions and consequences. It's not special. The gods, the kings, they all like to act high and mighty, but it's just actions and consequences.
Those two things aren't always related, though. It's just
Correlation is
actions
equal,
and
causation of
more
cause.
actions. It's just people doing things. What has that got to do with anything?
Everything and nothing. The consequences often have nothing to do with your actions and vice versa. You're entirely correct. You understand it perfectly. You just... people make it sound more important than it is.
Isn't that what you're doing right now? It's not
I'm-
this important.
I have to try and...
What?
do right. I don't do what's right. I don't
Neither do
do
I.
what's wrong. Actions and consequences. It's just... you don't need to wear this burden. It's not even a burden that you signed up for. Not that anybody does.
Then why should you have to hold on to his burden?
We had this whole
I
crisis
don't.
about 20 minutes ago.
I don't have to do any of this.
Then don't.
But that's the problem, like you say. Consequences regardless of the action. I am caught between a rock and a hard place. Damned if I do and damned if I don't.
I mean, yeah, we all are. We made a shit deal and now we've got to bumble our way out of it, or to something. But maybe we don't bumble it in that direction, we bumble it in that direction. Do you see what I'm saying? We've messed it up already. It's already happened.
You
We
all
don't
haven't
have to-
messed anything up. The cards were stacked against you from the start. The dragon knew this. The dragon can't win this fight. This mob certainly can't, not on their own. I have bigger plans than this pitiful lot.
I'm gonna slowly walk forward. One, what are you talking about? You are talking in riddles. You don't even...
You hate heroes.
Yes, sort of, yes.
Good reasons, they're a fiction. Don't get me wrong, there is heroic acts, there are noble people, there are wonderful things, but what they tell in stories, it's not the same. But your behavior around all this, you have got it into you that you need to be anti-heroes. But that is just as much a fiction. You're fine. You had the capacity for winning the day right from the beginning. You didn't need to change. Even if you performed those acts, you wouldn't have changed. You would have just gnawed at your gut. My recommendation to you is this. No one here is going to fight you if you want to execute us. No one's... I have checked and double-checked and rechecked. Your slates will be clean as they can be.
Why are you talking like you're not part of this?
I'm not after this.
We're not there yet.
I was there once I cast the spell. This is a high crime. Not to this forest, perhaps. I don't know the dragon's policy on undead. This is a crime to every undead that stands here who I have damaged their soul beyond repair. And most likely my own as well. This is a crime against everything.
And do you feel bad about it?
No.
Then what does it matter? I don't care about the morality of this. I just want to know, are we getting out of this or are we not? We can't lose this whole group, this whole mission because of this.
You won't lose the
One.
mission.
Oh, as you are discussing this, you were going back and forth. One, You see this coming. Oh, you look in horror to your left as Runara's hand prepares a fireball.
Yeah, of course you do. You don't.
Because it was a 4 on that sleight of hand check. Everyone fucking saw it.
Oh yeah. That's not a problem.
1. Do you
I see this
attempt-
coming, so I have
You see this coming.
half a second.
What's the range on counterspell?
60
To all,
feet.
to all that I command here, and I will do the same. I just command with one word: kneel. They all kneel, and so do
Just
I.
take it.
Just
Okay.
take it.
So they are. You just hear, both of you. 1, you say this in your common tongue. Both of you hear a deep, umbral word spoken. Something primordial. And every undead kneels at once. Runara, are you performing fireball?
Mm-hmm.
Cast.
Just hit. You can see that circle, right?
I see that circle.
Sound.
The only thing you do not hit is the giant.
Basically, yeah.
And what level are you casting it at?
I think just a third.
Okay.
That's not helpful to me, game. It's not what I wanted. That's what I want. Not a bad roll.
1,
Oh, that was the GM. It was 34 fire damage for everyone else.
Thank you. 1, you take 34 points of damage. I just have to check the owlbear.
It would be slightly further forward.
Yeah.
Both owlbears go down to 24 HP. 24 out of 59. Then 24 out of 59. Save. And every undead in front of you and all about you. I say this now, and I'll describe the scene in more. I'm going to describe the scene from the perspective as the timer goes out on the arrival of the other people, because I did put a clock.
Yeah, I literally just looked at that.
I'm going to give this from the perspective of on high and below. Serenus and Wittick, you were rushing on the back of Garm, you were following that path. You can see in the distance to the side, like past trees and past shrubs, the thing that you do see is the eyes like witchfire in the distance of Wittick, what you immediately identify as you eventually, Serenus, as undead. You can tell that this is the witchfire of undeath life. And Kika, you and Kairk see it from above. You guys see it from a different perspective, because you see in the distance cladded figure. This is me describing Poe, for those curious. And then a woman stood by her side, and a light emanating between them, identifying Poe and Runara. And you just see a horde of undead. And Kika, you understand the word which is spoken. Kneel. I would like an Arcana check from the unintentional casting from 1, and from Kika, an Arcana check, please. That is a fail. That is a fail.
Same number.
That's the same number twice.
Wild.
But both fail.
Let's see.
So don't worry about anything else. But you understand that the word kneel was spoken. It just sounded wrong. And you just see that bead of light, that little bead that just erupts from a fireball. From Runara's chest, it goes to her hand, and it just detonates, and loud. In the dead and quiet of night, that eruption of noise and light and fire. And all the undead, all about, in a single moment, go. Bar the giant and the owlbears, who are singed, heavily damaged. The owlbears barely holding themselves together in their like dual form, where they're twisted over one another. And the giant is unharmed. And one, you take 34 points of fire damage.
Yep.
As the rest of the party arrives on set from stage left.
Stage left or left?
My left
Is-
or right?
I said
Is
stage left because I wanted to see
different
if you were.
There's a
direction.
different
You're correct, they
directions.
are. That's why I said stage left, because I'm like, I want to see who fucks it up.
It's on the right then.
Yeah.
I'll take a few steps forward with the casting of the spell. It's like 10 foot.
So
Cool.
you can put yourselves on the board if you want, guys.
If
These lifeless husks, these soulless empty vessels, just puppeted meat and bone and sinew just crumble. Some of them charcoal in front of you. The smell in the air is foul, as anyone who has smelt burnt bone knows. Of course,
still
you
can't put
fucking
myself on
took
the.
it. Someone messed up on the barbecue, Whittick, you're right. Those ribs are fucked. They're gone. Someone's ruined them.
No, I still can't put myself on the map. I don't know.
Oh, you can't?
Nope.
I thought you were talking about somebody fucking up the barbecue.
Hey,
You're
roll
not allowed in
20.
this
but-
combat.
Yay.
Can't put me or Garm.
Hmm. How dare.
Sorry, we're stuck in a cute love triangle thing. You can't come in here right now.
It's you're not allowed in here. It's too gay.
I wish
Sorry,
it
took
was
the shit,
gayer.
Plight.
Unfortunately, there's a distinct lack of gay themes, and instead we're having a crisis.
What do you mean? There are several undead corpses and things are burning. This is exceedingly gay.
Whittick, can you try to move yourself?
But I'm not having a good time.
Exactly.
Hey! I thought
Yeah.
that model moved.
Yeah, I can move.
Nice.
Can you also add Garm? Won't let me do that either.
Yeah,
I like-
I can move
I
me.
like
You don't
that.
have to worry about that.
I like puppy.
Why's Kika laying down?
This is my token.
Aren't we all?
I wish.
Okay, so arriving on
Weirdly.
scene,
Live to be horizontal.
are we able to basically process that one has summoned the undead?
One is surrounded by undead which are non-aggressive. And Renara has just lit up the scene.
I'm just gonna keep walking towards King. Or one, sorry.
Oh no.
I'd probably slowly be following at a slower pace than Lux.
Mm-hmm.
Theranos, please get off Garm.
I kind of like slump off and look over. Still a bit confused of what's really going on, but like
You're
kind of
putting it together, and it is
Yeah.
not pretty. I will say
Whittick.
for both of you, the aversion of this scene is palpable for your own unique reasons, nature and order.
Well, no, there's an issue right now. There was a contract that was made to me by a person. They've full broken it. So Garmin's going to full charge towards one.
And there we are.
Trying to protect you.
We react to to the full
Yeah.
charge in any way.
So, what I'm going to say is this. You two are approaching, trying to talk one down. I will ask, for the sake of the scene, Wittick, 1. When you agreed never to raise the dead, was that around others?
Widdick has the right of it. I agreed not to raise the dead in.
I mostly ask
No,
because
he's talking about if the party was around when we did this contract.
when you agreed to it.
I think
Oh,
we
no,
were
I think it
there
was
just
just-
asleep.
Yeah,
I think it was during the night, if I remember.
it would have been one of our chess sessions.
So
I think
will
we
say
had talked about it before, but when they explicitly agreed, I think it was chess. Yeah.
you guys, I will give Runara and Poe insight checks. Wittick, if you want to conceal your intent, you may make a deception check. However, do you feel like you would in this moment?
Oh no, full intent.
Yeah, I feel like it's
Okay.
this is written on the wall,
This is-
surely.
This is mostly just to ensure, in case a 1 gets rolled, because a lot's happening. You both see, in this Warforged space, Wittick, how do you feel in this moment? What emotion ticks in that mechanical heart?
Mainly, I think, is betrayal. That's
You both-
the foremost.
You both see
But there's also sorrow.
there's sometimes where you have an estimate of what a character is gonna say for a scene, and they responded back. You're like, okay, good. I'm reading you right. That's good. Both of you see regret made manifest on this Warforge's face. If Wittick has looked at you, you don't know. It's almost as if in this moment Wittick is ignoring everything else because of what has happened. The paladin sees the wizard raise the dead. If either of you would like to react, you may.
Yeah.
1. Will you resist attempts on your life?
No.
How are you going to try and stop this?
I'm gonna. Okay, this is gonna come down to math, and I hate it.
I hate that I'm not closer than I was.
Oh my god, I might be okay. I will tell you just what I was working towards doing anyway. But I will accelerate, seeing where I can accelerate. I literally want to like fully like I just want to like body like hug one, but also like shield.
Okay.
I want to like physically intercede via hug.
Then initiative roll. So before you go to it, let me just make sure that my table is clear on initiative. When I can find my damn initiative table, there we are. Delete all. Please roll initiative. Which
Runar as well.
are you also involved, Runara?
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
Three of us. Yeah, it's
I
going to
will-
come down to who
I
goes
will
first.
also give Theranos, and I will also give Kika 1 if either of you want to do anything in this moment.
Can I
Ooh.
luck on initiative?
It's a
It's
roll.
if it's a D20 roll, then yes, basically.
If I see Pox trying to intervene in killing, well, I wouldn't know, so doesn't matter.
I'm just moving towards you.
She's just moving towards you. You just got fireballed.
Yep, I don't imagine I can
There's
detect
a
her
lot
anymore.
going
So
on.
Okay.
I've got a face full of
Ah.
ash. I doubt I can tell even with insight or anything.
So, of you both, Runara and Poe, you both have the same initiative modifier. Who has a higher dex?
Probably you.
What's your dex?
14.
14.
Then at the same time, I guess.
Roll off.
Rollies,
Roll
right?
is?
Rollies.
What are you doing, D20?
A d20 higher wins.
I hate it.
Rolling
I hate
again,
it.
basically.
You ain't lucking this shit.
It's a d20 roll. She can.
Oh, come on, no, this
Oh,
is
come
It's
on,
not-
it's
it's
a
not-
straight coin toss.
It's not
This
a
is the
character.
players
It's
making
not
a
a
D20
character
roll.
roll. It's not
I
a
agree,
character
yeah,
roll.
don't worry. I wouldn't have
Fair.
lucked. I agree with the spirit.
Then roll a d20.
It's a straight coin toss, huh?
guidance. Add a D4 to my D20.
Fuck you.
Ooh.
It's fine.
Oh.
Runara, you get
Close.
to go. Or sorry, not Runara. Runara, you just
Yeah.
watch as Poe. You are preparing what you intend to do, and as you are, you can see Wittek coming, and you understand his intent. And so does Poe. Poe? What do you do?
Bonus action dash.
Mm-hmm.
And just fully, I still have sanctuary on me, which also makes this good. I'm gonna just like fully just hold one as hard as I can. And just be like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't give a shit about morality or whether you think what you did is good or bad. I just want all of us to live through this. And I don't know whether this would be like me using the dodge action or what you would want this to be, but I have an action and I basically just want to like try and
You're going
I
to
don't-
give. You're going to. I'll say this. You are shielding.
yeah.
You were going to give the dodge action to one in this way. Where
Yeah,
it's
that's kind of
disadvantage
what I
to you.
wanted.
However, you are shielding, so if anyone wants to hit you, advantage.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just hoping it causes people to hesitate. I'm not thinking that this is a permanent solution. I just want everyone to pause for a second.
You go, you hold your friend who has been one of your most staunch backers
Yeah.
in all of the insanity that has happened in your recent life, and you hold her as tight as you can, hands almost gripping into skin and bone at the back.
I will do some damage this way. I don't care. I will snap a rib. Yeah.
Runara.
I'm going to move up as well, my 30 foot. And I'm going to cast the Guardian of Faith. Within 30 foot of me. So the Guardian of Faith is going to be in front of them both. It'll be a very, very tall looking angelic dwarf-like character with a giant hammer. And I think I get to choose who it's hostile to. Any creature hostile to you. My intention now is anyone that's
It's up
looking
to you or your allies.
Well, it's the guardian. Any creature hostile to you that moves into a space within 10 feet. In my eyes, anyone who's going to cause further harm to one is hostile to me.
This figure.
It's a very
appears in that.
one-based clarification. It's like I
Okay.
lay down the law.
You declare this out. Roll a d20. Roll a religion check to successfully cast the spell.
Oh, religion, okay.
I feel like we're all changing our fucking alignments after this. The group gets an alignment change.
Runara, you can feel this where all spells to you are like an ignition of magic, a surge, a heart being lit. In one form, another, or otherwise. Here, that ignition splutters, and splutters, and splutters. And then you get it, and it erupts. And it is a giant dwarven figure. It is, in essence, the equivalent to the woman that you saw in that vision many a time before Verona. Holding the hammer that you were gifted, staring out blankly, as it is not her, it is just a manifestation in an essence of an angelic dwarf. Wittig. She broke her contract, and your friends know your intention, and they are terrified of what you are going to do. What would you like to do?
While he's thinking, I'm just going to flavour this a bit. King's going to raise an ash-covered hand to Pox's face, probably leaving a handprint, and says, "You talk of morality from two of the goodest people I know. You saved your enemies, and you saved me once. Let me go."
Not in your fucking life.
All right. So, as an action, I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on the Guardian.
Oof. Okay, roll it.
You've got to roll for it. Fourth level
Yep.
spell.
Fine.
I believe the DC for this is 14 because it is a
Yeah, 10 plus
10,
spell level.
10 plus spell level.
Yep. So, spell casting ability modifier roll.
Yep.
Guardian's
Stop
Dispel.
it.
Just,
Dice.
yep. That was
So-
just an 18. So, yep. Don't need to add anything.
There's this moment where the magic erupts, and that guardian appears. And in that moment, in that space, all four of you who are here closest, but the people who are furthest away can see it at a slight distance. That figure, at her heart, it just peels open, and there is just a clock which just ticks. Like a mechanical gear, just tick, 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 and the entire spell dissipates outward in a spread. Wait, tick.
As a I don't know if it would use bonus action or movement. I will take the Hammer of Verona out of my bag, toss it to the ground. You've made a decision when you decided to be hers. I've made a decision when I signed a contract with one to end her if she should ever make the undead. So you will either let me do my contract or you will keep getting in my way. Continue moving forward.
You have the distance to get point blank.
That's all I can do.
I'd say you're going to leave it essentially, do a little mark, right there on the path. Just throw it and it lands to there as you go. You've more than enough movement to do it as a free drop as you go. That hammer thumps into the ground and just embeds a little bit with a thump. A little dust kick up in the middle of this night. let's see. Serenus, you get to go first before Kairk. You've heard all the proclamations said aloud. You heard one say that they need to die. You've heard Wittick vehemently agree. And you've heard Runara and Poe trying to stop this. What
I'm
does
just gonna.
nature say to this equation?
Well, it's a bit too far away to get there, so I'm going to essentially dash in, really, and just see if I can kind of get over there as much as possible.
If you wanted to, you could probably shift, move, and then drop it as a free action. And do something that can move faster.
Could do.
If all you're doing is dedicating to movement.
Yeah, I'm really just. I could. Yeah, because I just need one. I basically just need to get closer. Trying to think what's.
For the sake of time, we'll just say you shift into something. With a 50 move, you dash, and at the end of it, you drop it.
Okay, so that's. What, 100 then I can do?
Yeah, so.
To here.
Yeah.
Fucking.
So that's your bonus action to shift, your action to dash, and you get to there.
There we go. Yeah. And just like, yeah, so like just trying like frantically getting over there as much as possible. Where I feel like, you know, given my druidness and the nature of it, feel like nature's essentially kind of screaming right now due to the nature that is being done upon its land at this current time.
The energies of this enhanced Dance Macabre has perforated the land, but it is in that way. Not best to describe it. It is not like oil, which has sank into the land, and the land must be ground and torn and destroyed to remove. It is like rotted vegetables which have plucked themselves from the ground and are now burning about you.
It's just there's not much I can really do at this point besides just get to this position and then just end my turn for next turn. But I'm very frantically gotten over here and trying to further assess the situation more, but still waiting to decide on what my choice will be in my next turn, because
then for now.
for right now, until I kind of understand the better picture of things. I know that something's wrong and that nature
It's
is
not the whole
dead,
thing.
but as a druid, I feel like, you know, it's one of those things that's kind of conflict with itself, because at the same time, nature, no likey, but these are my friends. I need to understand.
It is what the higher consciousness says versus your heart.
Essentially,
with
that's
that
what's
moment-
that's going on right now.
Not knowing what else to say or do, you leave it at that moment, and we are going to go to Wittick. We're going to go to Kika and Kairk.
Okay.
Wait, Kika, I will say Kairk. Like, you didn't get that full dream still. He had the dream, he had it, but he's not got the full rest of himself. He's not got his full head.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot going on with him. He is out of this, basically.
Okay.
Unless she literally, he will go with her
Okay, yeah.
and body double. But he's not really got much agency in and of himself right now.
Okay, let's close that sheet then. Should have led with that.
Sorry, should have done, but I was waiting to get to you.
It's not like you're managing, like...
Trying to plan
party
two
conflict.
turns simultaneously. Okay, well, we're not going to do that then. We're going to do something else. You know what? Fuck it. Everybody's done insane rolls today. Let's have Kika do some insane rolls as well. Kika will fly forward her movement of 60, and she doesn't really know what else to do. She can see her friends gearing to fight each other, and the entire situation, now is a mess. Yesterday was a mess, and all she can think to do is just scream with her entire being that she wants people to stop. And she's going to do an Archon roll to try and cast a 9th level spell.
Yeah, I was gonna say time stop.
To try and cast Time Stop.
Okay. This
And
is
is
a spell you do
probably
not
gonna
know.
hurt herself horribly trying to do this.
Okay, so it's a spell you don't know, and it's a 9th.
Mm-hmm.
Spell you've not. While it has been cast in your proximity, you've not seen it cast. So, DC, same as it was for 1, 25. This is busting out a big one.
I have to roll 18 or higher.
I see her coming, I take it, or do I not see her past the
You
trees?
see her up on high flying, like she's coming in.
I cast Counterspell.
Well,
I haven't even got to the stage if the spell's
Right.
gone. The spell might not even
Calm the fuck down. Let her at least roll this
Whoa,
part.
So
of
the
this.
spell might not even go off. No, it doesn't even get close to going off. Kika just hurts herself.
Good point.
Um,
Sorry, I'm just so used to, you want to say Counterspell before it's too late, because you're going to say that! Which is important, by the way, and I understand why the DM said
Yeah,
that. It's 'cause-
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
So-
I jumped the gun,
No,
because
both,
that's how you
both are
do it.
valid. You're fine, you're valid.
Make a charisma saving throw, please, at the end of that.
Okay.
Just for the fact that this was a fail, and it was a fail by nearly 10.
18.
So, you don't take any major backlash or anything else, but you can just, in that same way as somebody who has ran an immense exertion very, very shortly, and you go, oh, I can feel how that's affected my body. That my heart is in my throat, my mouth is dry.
Mhm.
I can see everything in hyper pitch. Everything is zoomed out in almost a panic attack style grade of like enhanced vision in that moment.
She probably
But-
actually falls out of the sky, but is caught by Kayak, who was literally
There we
2
are.
steps behind her.
Kirk reaches under her, grabs her, and holds her. She isn't collapsed, she isn't knocked out, she hasn't taken any damage, but with that, we go back to Poe.
Since the turn order's swung around, can I do something?
If you want to.
She
Yeah,
doesn't,
technically-
she doesn't
technically
technically
one
have
is
an
non-initiative.
initiative roll.
One did not want to take any
Resisting.
action.
So
That's true.
I suppose in a way I've sort of held my action till the end there.
There we are.
As is typical, this is not a crime at an execution. But the guards have duties. Please remove the bereaved. Do not hurt them. And I'll have the 2 owlbears help me with a remove myself from grapple. I think it's a dexterity check. I've got the choice of a acrobatics or athletics to remove from a grapple.
So,
Yeah.
you have 2 owlbears basically just going to push on either of her shoulders and just shove her off of you, essentially.
Yep.
So, here's what I'm going to do. Let's see, undead owlbear. Given that there's technically 2 of them, I'm going to give them advantage because they're doing this together. Bit of a thing, I'm aware, however. No, it's
Makes
not
sense
an
to me.
albinaire. It's not an albinaire, it's an owlbear. Me? Stop fucking
Albaneri.
Albinaire.
Baneri!
Albinore.
It's a Banoi!
Oh, we need to make
With
jokes.
advantage.
So important.
Yeah.
Okay. You have a choice of an athletics or an acrobatics, and the DC you must beat is 20. As they
Me?
try to shove you off. Yes.
Not to match with myself, but I think it has to be athletics if you're resisting, right?
It's more like if you're trying to like dodge off of them while keeping on, but the choice is
It's a difference of 1. So
we'll say
that's a
athletics.
difference
then.
of 1. Okay.
Fitting.
Episode title.
Yeah. Blue, write that down.
Oh, goddammit.
I will luck that. That didn't help me.
Luck again?
No. I mean,
One
the fucking
more.
last one.
One more.
In this fucking situation, you've got to be joking.
You're trying to hold on, and there's this moment where you do grip in, and you just hear one. How do you feel in this moment? You fully accepted it. You've accepted that this is what it is. There's no. Is there regret? Is there remorse? Is there fear or anxiety?
No. Ready as a statue as always.
Ready as a statue as you are pushed away from her, Poe. You can just see these two big owlbear, like these stinking, now slightly charred corpses shove you off and then pull back away. And as one of them pulls back, you could just see its head gets clamped on by Gorm, who's just seeing an undead and just crushes it down by himself.
Sorry. Oh! Do I still have Sanctuary on me, or did Guardian of Faith drop that?
That was not
No,
an attack roll.
Sanctuary is not concentration.
Also, both of the things that were said were true. Okay. I think Pox is just like, because she's kind of in the middle of it, but she also feels like completely. Like,
So with this pushing action, King's just gonna sort of crawl a bit to have it so the owl bears are between
okay.
you and her,
and like,
just look up at Widdick waiting.
I think Pox has this moment, like, not in any sort of form of like, almost like complete dissociation, like looking at this not as her for a second, like the orbital view,
Out of body experience.
yeah, maybe like the moon sees it for a second,
Very much so.
and just like blinks a few times and goes, what the fuck is wrong with all of you? Why are you acting like you've been scripted? None of you are what you're pretending to be right now. Widdick, you gave up on being a perfect paladin so long ago, and I don't know if you're the last one to notice. Runara, you can't act on any sort of high ground after what we nearly just did. And why are you acting like you have to? This just has to work out like this. You were made and put on a path. That's not your fault. Why are you acting like this was always how it was going to end? It doesn't have to. We can all do different things right now. We're not this. We are a bunch of absolute fuck-ups who shouldn't be here. And why are we suddenly acting like we ever were acting perfectly, like we ever did this right? This doesn't have to go this way. Don't act like it has to, because that's just who you are. You can change.
King just says, see, you do get it.
Then why don't you right now? You made me get it. I didn't get it till now. Just everyone fucking stop. You can just do that at any time. And I think that's basically my action.
If you weren't talking with a bunch of players, I'd be giving you a persuasion advantage, but you can't. It's players.
Just
you gotta
people.
commit them.
Yeah.
I'm very convinced zombies. I will say that. Like,
I did it for you. I feel like I should flavor this with something, but I don't know what to do. I know what I'll do. Ah, fuck! It's a willing creature. Never mind. I was gonna cast something on one, but one would not let that happen.
It's not a willing creature.
No, I'm just. I think as much as it is inefficient, I think that is my action.
It might not be inefficient. Runara.
I fucking know what I'm doing.
Just stop. We can all just stop. Just pass. We all have it in our power to pass the turn.
I will.
This is my platform now. Everyone pass the turn.
I'm gonna walk 20 foot to there and just try to pick up the hammer. Is it heavy?
Yeah.
You're her child. It is light as a feather.
Yeah, pick it up.
You don't pick it up then, is what you're saying, or
No,
you
I do. If it was heavy,
Okay.
I was gonna leave it.
Okay, you pick it up.
I need to check something. Fuck. Bonus action. I'm casting Sanctuary on one.
Okay. Sanctuary drops from Poe.
It does not.
It's not concentration?
It's not a concentration spell.
I haven't attacked anybody for once. We are capable of changing.
A creature within range.
They don't actually winning.
Sanctuary. Nope.
Fuck you, you are protected.
It's why it's on the Oath of Redemption, because you don't have to be able to. You can talk people down by using it. So,
And I'm
that's
gonna
your
hold
bonus
my.
action.
I'll hold my action to fucking just throw my fucking hammer. If
At the back of Wittig's head or something, or
if Wittig makes a hostile move, I'll throw the hammer. And I'll say, one is now under the protection of Verona. A hostile move against them is a hostile move against her.
Does Barona agree with that?
Apparently.
That's a question for the DM to try and figure out.
Yep.
I know
and
the
I'll
answer
hold
to that question.
And I'm holding my action.
Yeah, you don't have to share that answer.
And they won't. Next turn.
There's a lot of rolls being made behind the screen there, Wittig.
I don't want to look.
I would move like 5 foot closer as well. That's all.
Okay. You pick it up, you move a little bit more, I get you.
The music stopped and I got really nervous.
Oh, is it resumed, has it?
It has for me. It stopped and then it the track ended and then it restarted. It looped. It was a brief pause.
Shut up. What is Naren doing? Shut the fuck up.
I look up in Wittig and say, I'm
Don't
so
say shit.
glad Mechanus brought you here.
Oh, silence. No.
And I lower my head in executioner style.
Do you turn
Or
your
execution
back?
knee.
Do you turn your back?
Yep.
You turn your back, she lowers her head.
I'm so proud of all of you.
Sword falls from Wittig's hand.
The great, mighty blade slips from your wrist and shunks into the ground next to you.
pulls exactly where one was sitting.
Sword of Damocles.
It's like, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. So-
Fuck!
The cogs of Primus and Mechanus stop. Like the stands, it would be a paladin breaking his oath to order and lawfulness.
You look down. The weight of your legs and that eruption of fire, you no longer have the ability to cause yourself to fly. But Widdick, this is a change. And you never broke another oath you had. Make a religion check. This is with advantage. DC 15. You feel this moment. It sinks into you, and that flame that's at the center of your chest almost dims entirely and is gone. That notion of what you are to Primus, that mechanical self. But whilst it's not extended to you, at present, you have the heavy notion, the heavy comprehension. You have broken your oath to Primus. But you have changed. And change is good to others. Widdick, in this moment, the cog stops, but the sword does not hit the ground. Drops of water in the air do not fall. There's a moment where time is stopped. And one of the corpses nearby you begins to pull itself up as green energy sparks from it. But not like a crackling of eldritch energy or necromantic aura. Like an electric current as it pulls itself up. Its corpse is humanoid but uncanny. As it holds up and as the ash and mud burn from its face, it is mechanical. It is metal. Its jaw hangs in a hinged motion underneath, and all the way down in segmented implements is a mechanical spine, ribs that come out almost like a shielded guard at the chest, with a different symbol of a cog ever turning in its center. The limbs pull up. One is held up in a wounded pose. The other one hangs low, like the shoulder is gone, and the hip turns to the side with the weight. You hear this voice. You've cut your strings from my successor. He claims my throne. He feeds on my bones. He claims to be Primus. Pretender. Liar. He demands you execute those at your heart. He denies you your heartbeat. I will not force you into agreement with me. That is not meant to be Primus's way. And this figure, this moment where there's like the back of the spine like snaps and twists and opens, like the whole, like the hunch over and their back and their spine is like a floral decal that breaks and sprawls open and spreads up and open and extends out in a petal fashion as this green energy comes up, and you can just see a figure silhouetted with like these antennae as ears that come up to the sides, this head which is just a beautifully well crafted metallic helmet. In a way, that's how you visualize it, that's how you interpret it. And you can just see the ruined marks of destruction and death poxed upon their chest. As a being whose name was stolen, never forgotten, reaches out to you. Do you accept?
Yes.
Okay. Mark down that you are no longer Oath of the Watcher, unless you wish to change. But I will have a new oath name for you one day. But you still have your paladin powers. Because what you realize when you accept this energy, what you have been supping, this energy that you've been given, you now realize what humans would understand as the difference of watered down. Something which was stronger, more intense, heavier, that has been eased for your consumption. You feel like this power, if you were who you were when Neverwinter detonated, it may be too much for you all at once. But your body can contain it here. You are a paladin of the Forgotten. And the clock ticks back. And that sword, you hear it shunk into the ground next to you. And the corpse, still on the ground, dead.
It looks like just a standard corpse again.
Charred corpse. Sword drops. Wittig, you do not take an action this turn.
Oh, picks the sword back up, sheath it, and walk away.
On the back of Garm, you turn. And by the way, Garm previously had a storm, like electric blue. As Garm turns, the energy coming from your loyal companion is now like a green electric mist from its maw. I will ask the rest of the party. Wittig is not attempting to kill one.
I'm still like hosting the Mexican standoff of like everyone stopped, right?
Baroness. Anything?
Well, luckily I did. I got here to witness this, which is good.
Box gives you a look like, I didn't mention you, but don't get me fucking started.
Silence, furry.
It definitely
Not that
feels like there's the tension is eased.
Very much so.
But as Serenus moves forwards up to where everything is, the nature energy, but the energy around due to what has been happening is probably a lot worse now I've gotten here, I assume.
The whole. To give you an idea, this is one of those moments where, as you would have to if you came across a state which was foul, you'd have to consciously try to avoid smelling the air for the rancidity of it. In this way, you have to not focus on the Drudaic energy of this area because it is headache inducing. But give me a nature check. Okay. What you can tell is, as I said earlier, this is not oil seeped into the ground, which has permanently affected it and will take decades. This is rotten fruit plucked, and many of it has already been burned. But that rotten fruit must be burnt. That rotten fruit must be destroyed. It must go. But that is all. The land is not damaged.
And the giant that's still, or is the undead giant still technically? I think that was the one. This one over here that was still. I think it just kind of got singed, didn't it?
Didn't even get touched.
I thought it did.
The
Nope.
owlbears were damaged. The giant was not touched.
Correct.
It was cosmetically singed.
Its aesthetic, its vibe, ruined.
Serenus, like, seeing that the fighting has stopped, there's a sigh of relief. But in that moment of sigh of relief, the holding back of the smell of rot kind of seeps in. I look forward at the giant, this undead creature. And I'm going to cast Sunbeam right at it.
You know what? Fuck you. Boom.
I'll do it.
Essentially, yes, that's what's going to happen right now.
So, what I will say as well is, one is given the order these things do not resist. So the sunbeam hits and it takes the damage, and then you just watch it crumble.
That 60-foot line is suspiciously straight through me.
It's tall. It's going
I
over
know,
you.
I know,
It's
I know.
already
Slide to the
flat.
left.
Just gently.
Don't worry.
Oh.
This is just ice knife plus. That's all.
So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and as you said,
So it blasts, but then you're like, why is it slothing to the side? Like, this should be a blast in the center. Why is it slothing in two perfectly even pieces? And they slam down. And at the center of where that giant was, you just hear a small hand clapping. And as you do, there is a figure stood over the corpse of the now dismembered and burnt giant. It is, in full armor, Nulak. Two blades either side, hovering, and one sword in hand. The blades themselves are humming as well. They look to you, and they look to this situation. I'm just gonna take that giant off the board because it is fucking dead. And he looks to you all as this transpires, and his hands extend up in a moment. Make one thing clear: this much undead, the crash was going to get my attention no matter what. But I can also see that this is a fuck up. I spoke with you two that we would leave. And at that point, he snaps his finger. And what you guys realize is there is the sound of like a sharp dart just in the air. And then a dozen others. And you can just see small avian birds fall down around you. You can see rats in the underbrush being dropped. Did you miss any? As he taps his ear. Acknowledged. She can't hear you right now. We are leaving. We will leave noon tomorrow. But we are not leaving. We will be there, but we will not be there. Burn it down. We've taken everything we need. She will come to claim everything else. And when she does, I'm going to fucking kill her. This does not break your ties with her. You get to leave. But she has messed with you. She's messed with me. She's messed with my people. I know why you're all doing the stuff you're doing. You either find it as a necessity, altruist movements for the good of your heart, or just regret that now that the consequences are coming to your front door, it's a bit much. Do what you need to. Come at noon. Burn what you need. And just leave the damn forest. And do whatever else that lady in Waterdeep is asking you to do next, for all I care. Or that red bitch that should already be dead.
People, I was gonna say, I was starting to get their feathers up. That was a turn of phrase, but it's also accurate.
It is, in fact, what was happening.
Yes. Like, the most, from like pure tension, the most defeated exhale. Do whatever you need to do. We're gonna walk the fuck out of this forest tomorrow.
Yes, you are.
And that's as complicated as this is gonna get.
That's as complicated as this is gonna get.
Good night.
It isn't. But at least try to sleep. And he turns. And when he turns, there's just this moment of just... And like, as if he fully phases away. You stand amongst yourselves. The tension high, the emotions heavy. Do you return to camp? One and all.
I just like reach my hands out. It's like a meme. I'm gonna put my hand out to both Runara and to one. I'm normally not big on the whole like let's all hold hands and be friends again. But I don't know. I've been convinced to give it a go this one time. Can I close my eyes over to Kika like, are you proud of me?
Dear diary, Poe did a good thing today.
No, shut the fuck up. No, I didn't.
I saw Nemo. I saw Nemo's square lighting up, but I didn't hear any words.
Yeah. Speak to us.
I cannot hear you.
One's head
There
is
we are.
still
Hey.
hung down. I just didn't want to interrupt. You can probably still feel the palpable connection between her and these two owlbears.
They can come. They're buds now.
I didn't say she hasn't said anything. I just mean you can probably literally feel it. This day of execution is unexpected. There are many punishments, but there are 2 victims yet to decide. Do as you will. I command the 2 undead owlbears to do as they will. After all, they were the victims of what one just did.
These soulless husks, puppeted by your will, simply wait for instruction. This is not an action they can carry out.
While one's saying that, I'm gonna just walk over and just take a knee next to them and cast Cure Wounds.
You fucking scared me then, man. And I
Cast
cast
inflict wounds, 4th
disintegrate.
level. I can't
It's like I was
breathe.
waiting for it.
You
I
get
can't
you get
still breathe.
you get 17 hit points. 1.
That puts me back to full health because I had temporary hit points.
Yay.
Hey. roll
Way.
again.
There you
Yeah, like Brunar's like, I wanted the kill.
go.
Hey, grabs me by the throat.
No forgiveness.
No. He goes down on one knee, looks up, and just goes, "You should have gone for the head," and just claps.
Oh,
And
God.
cuts the arms off and teleports away. It wasn't
Yeah.
personal.
Just business.
Nothing
It's
personal.
just business. Yeah,
We
It's
have
just
to
business.
laugh because it was so traumatic.
it was.
And everyone makes their way back to camp. Owlbears
Complete
included.
silence. Not a word.
I probably do say before we leave, don't let the victims suffer longer than they have to.
You hear Karik shout out, "Kill them yourself then."
I was gonna actually, because of how Sunbeam works. And
Oh, right,
It used to be
it's
cast.
concentration.
I was just gonna kind of like,
One sec, walk over.
essentially, but like when everyone said their piece, I will just aim and just blast them to dust.
Problem solved.
Understood, and they are turned to dust.
A sigh of
I'm a
relief
skeleton owlbear pets.
that the undead area has now, the undead like rot has been cured from the area.
Okay, and the quietest move back to camp you could ever possibly do. And you can hear from camp, and you guys, half of you are immediately turned on to like alert on edge, and other yous just like drop into, oh for fuck's sake. You could just hear a little down, da down, 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 playing from your camp. And getting to camp, you see just a tiny little banjo being played by a tiny little cricket who followed around low many times, looking around the camp as you guys get back in. Down, da, down, 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 down. Well, hi there,
Kermit
all.
from Heavenhead.
I was about to. I was like, "Come at the frog."
It's not easy being green.
This ain't a swamp.
It could be.
What's that video? Domain expansion. Swamp of Serenity.
Swamp of Serenity.
Not like this.
No, I feel like it's more. It's more.
Kills you all.
No, it's more of like when you when they release one of those character things for Super Smash Bros. When it's like everyone walks back and it just goes like it joins the party.
Oh, the frog. Enters the battle.
That's exactly because they did a
Oh my
wave.
God.
Because they did a wave and it like like shot like.
Kika will actually like run forward as it's literally as if her brain is going, "Oh, thank God, a distraction." just runs up. She's like, "Puck, you're here.
Yes.
Why are you here? Is everything okay? Is everything all right with Lo?
Yeah.
What's
Oh, Lo's fine. My contract with Lo's kind of ended. Lo don't need me no more.
Oh, they.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's probably more of a good thing,
Yeah,
I suppose.
I'm just kind of hanging out because, in fairness, I'm gonna get teleported back eventually. So I was like, I'll find out wherever you lot have gone.
Oh,
So-
how long is eventually?
Dawn. I was here for a little bit, not for long. Down, 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 down. Well, you all look disheveled to heck.
It's been a bad night.
Well, sit down for a bit and catch your breaths.
Does Would it come back? I know Naren's just walked away from his PC. I know you've still got your headphones on, you bitch. Do you come back?
Having his headphones on doesn't mean he can respond.
Yeah, he might not have a microphone.
He can yell.
Just put a thumbs up out the doorway that you're in.
It'll be censored.
A blurred
Yeah, but
thumbs up.
we'd see a hand come out.
Here's the issue. It'll be a blurred appendix from a distance. Let's not let him do that, okay?
It might be a blurred thumbs up. It could be a blurred middle finger. Who can tell?
I think that's a thumbs up.
It's a wave.
And
It's not gonna tell us.
YMCA if you come back together.
Okay.
Yep, even we can tell what that is.
That was brilliant. It's just
Whittaker
the,
returns
"Wah!"
praising the Whittaker returns praising the sun.
Sorry, I've been
No,
drinking a
it's
lot of
fine.
water
It's
lately, and I
really
had
funny.
to really go.
No, you're
That's
fine.
so fine. That was hilarious. Someone clip that, please.
Oh, God.
Yep. Roz, you have a job.
Yeah, please. With Vaz. Ding, ding, ding. I'm gonna, as it's like awkward and if Widget comes back to camp and everything, I'm gonna. Pox is talking too much. Sit down and just kind of sit, properly at the campfire, and just be like, good. Hey, if everyone can come sit down for a sec. I need a favor, and I think it might help with this energy. And it's good that you're here, Puck, because I think you're the right person to ask.
Well, I'll find out.
As a passing Puck, I just say quietly, it's like, you're very observant. Are you an alligator in a vest? You know, an investigator.
Could we
No, I'm just like, I'm a
rewind?
beholder who likes to keep to myself. I'm a private eye.
Could we rewind and let Wittick do the execution? Could we do that? Is that alright?
I changed my mind.
Undo.
Control
Turn the VHS back and wind it. They
Oh my
didn't
God.
censor the knife.
That was the hardest
Yes.
time. It didn't censor the knife.
This campaign.
Even the
Doesn't work,
censor
edit.
is like, fuck it.
No, it's time. Pox just kind of
God.
smiles, but it's just like, if we all sit down for a second, do you think you could all. I think I need a new name.
Well, you ain't getting perk. I know you like taking things that already exist, but you ain't getting
It doesn't have to start with a P.
Yeah, it does.
I would appreciate everyone's input on this.
Do you have any preference?
Not necessarily. Just not Pox.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Daylight.
That's fun. Did you say daylight or Kaylee?
Daylight.
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 Okay. Daylight's fun. A bit cheery. I could get used to it.
Mhm.
What do we think?
Only reason I say is because you opened my eyes tonight.
It would be a bit
Dawn.
hypocritical. One's fun. I feel like that one's
Was.
saying with an accent. That's a character. Dawn. Dawn. Mm.
I mean,
No name's
you need
taken
a,
yet.
do you need a name and a character, or
No,
So,
I need a name.
I'm going to throw this out to you, and I'm going to throw this out through Puck because Stacy just poked her head in the room saying, "Has she
Say
decided
no."
actually?" No, so I'm going to give this through Puck. She's going to look. Puck's going to look at you. Go, tenacity.
Tenacity is fun. Okay, okay. We're getting somewhere.
No.
Anyone else? It can be anything. You've seen what names I've had up until this point. It would be, well, if we're all changing, we may as well. Right? Something new?
It's a foreign word. We don't. I don't know of a word for this concept in our tongue. It's from some other continent in common. I forget what the continents are. But anyway,
Do you think Pox knows? Pox
Fine,
doesn't
I'll
give a
blow up the
shit.
world. We won't need to worry about them.
One of Pox's previous OCs was called Pocket. You're fine.
I believe the word, or rather the concept, is wabi sabi. It means finding the beauty in imperfections. Perfectly imperfect.
Wow, that's that's like a capital C concept, huh? That might be a bit dramatic even for me. I do like it though.
On a side note, it's a Japanese term. I assumed it would be a German word when I started looking for something like that. It sounds like something the Germans would have a word for.
We don't have
Eric's
to
gonna
update this,
chime in.
by the way, because Pox will keep this going. But
Yeah.
if you've got genuine suggestions, I will hear them.
Yeah.
I think Eric
Throw
has
'em.
one.
Ika's got one as well.
Yeah, do
Yeah,
it.
is it-
I mean, that's the obvious one. I feel like then people jump straight to changeling, though. Then I'm gonna get in more trouble than I've been in. Do I care?
you
I
could be
don't
a
know.
bag of loose copper? Change.
Oh, I thought you were suggesting the name Bag of Loose Copper, and I wasn't rejecting it out of hand. We can get real.
To reiterate, or not reiterate, but another way to say daylight in Gnomish, as I've learned, Gala.
Gala's fun. Literally fun.
It's quite nice.
Gala, daylight, tenacity is kind of fun. Okay, these are good. This is material.
Before I was born,
Which was not that long ago.
It was not. It was not long ago. This was a little longer ago. It was, I think it was maybe 20 years or so. I don't know. I wasn't one. I don't know. there was a small village hidden in a mountain, and it was completely destroyed, obliterated, and many people died. And 2 people survived. They thought it was only 1, but it ended up being 2. And when they were reunited, they returned, and from the ruins of that small town, they built a new one. And that new town grew and became very populous and profitable and prosperous. And
That one's
they
taken.
gave it a new name. And it was called Phoenix Rise, which is where I was born. And there could be words taken from that if they interest you. Nyx?
Next.
Or if you prefer the P sound, you can
Fee.
probably get something from that, yeah?
B.
Phoenix
P.
just in and of itself.
That's cool. Pronounce it weirdly, like Phoenix.
Phoenix is good.
X. That's a little guy name.
So there is a distant kobold somewhere going, trademark. Trademark.
Or we could go the other way. Re.
I mean, that's a bit more of a common tongue name. Is the 3 of us, gesturing to herself, Kayak and Wittick, have more traditionally avian names. But Re is certainly...
I mean, I don't especially like that. I was mostly making a joke.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah. And Pox will basically keep this going.
Yeah.
As long as she can, basically, to be like, to just get people. Pox wants this conversation to go on long enough that it just gets stupid.
Mm-hmm. It is a suitable conversation to distract people.
Basically, yeah. You know, how about pencil? just like people. Like it doesn't take much just to say a word. So it's like
You have
Stop.
Puck raise up their hand one more time.
yeah, go on.
Penumbra.
Ooh, I like that. And it
Another-
does start
that's
with
another
P, but
frog.
it is a
That's another
silent
frog.
P.
It's another frog.
I gathered.
By the fact that I was doing this.
Oh, it's the
Yes.
after like 2 hours we're there going, how about trash?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's literally what Fox wanted to get to. Is like, wait a minute, this could just be like, because otherwise we're all gonna sit here in perfect silence and no one's gonna say shit and it's gonna be so awkward. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we all have to wake up tomorrow and walk out of this fucking woods.
Yep.
So for tonight, we just all need to sit here. So
Just
yeah,
be
Pox,
people
Pox
for
will
a
just
bit.
Pox will actually write some of them down. I was like, actually, that's a good idea. But we'll just keep it going. With the kind of undercurrent being, I can be anything. You know,
While
fucking
that's going on,
take a pick.
one is very surprised, to say the least, about all this. Either way, she's probably going to go to Puck in a quiet moment and say, might get your help with this. Although I'm an Archon, I should be able to pull this off.
Oh no.
Um,
What are you gonna try and get help with me from?
I need to shape my arcane focus to better reflect things.
Oh, that's very personal. And the fact that you come to me, I take as a sincere honor.
See, this focus is just some iron from when I was born, I suppose you could say. Was originally there to make chains. I think I need some new chains. Because, well, community service is a kind of punishment. And then I
Okay,
sort of
sweetheart. And you just like get a moment or a rocket fuck your head. I get it. You've got a cake for being chained up, but pack it in. Damn. What is
I,
it with you and getting consequences?
I shake my head and say, and I sort of mimic the action of using the chains to go around somebody's neck, my own in this example, but say, there's a necromancer bitch that needs to be choked out. And I think that's bloody good community service.
Uh-huh, okay. Uh-huh, right, I get you. But a chain's a very heavy thing that weighs on you. And the whole thing you've been doing is freedom of the sale. What most of y'all been doing is freedom of the sale. A chain is the last thing you should have.
Chains protect the hearth as much as they imprison.
Yeah, but that's what its function is. You're not a thing with a function. You're a person. Hate to break it to you, but you have, right of autonomy yourself. And the one person who shouldn't wrap themselves up in that is you. Hold on, I got an idea. And there's this moment again where like there's another green flash in Puck's eyes. Right, okay. You will have your chain. You'll have your chain. However, I get to decide the type of chain.
I think all things considered, that would be perfect.
And the focus falls from your hand with a bit of arcane influence with yourselves. And just it rises up and goes around your head, and you're ready for the weight of the world on your shoulders again, a pseudo crown of punishment. Just a daisy-chained little piece comes around your head and sits. Okay, so there may or may not still be a few ties with myself with Little Low and stuff like that. Keeps tying in every now and again. So just remember he always does have your back. Now don't disappoint him by fucking up. Because then you're disappointing him, and he's a sweetheart. And he definitely may or may not already have a boyfriend in that city. The boy goes fast. But goddamn. He found that job boy he found from Neverwinter again. Whew.
I just look deep into their eyes and say, a crown. Really? And I thought I made terrible jokes. I love it.
Also, the other note to it is it's something that you might not like, and because it's something you might not like, it is in itself a punishment.
Oh, I got that. I love how much I hate it.
Fantastic. Suffer. And he just goes back going dang, 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 dang.
From king to one to a fucking princess.
If you go by princess now, I swear. That's 3 names in 3 months.
Don't tempt me.
Look, what do you think we're doing here?
We're doing-
He doesn't realize you're having a separate conversation. Thinks it's part of my conversation.
Not you, her. Although
Oh,
princess
yeah.
would be funny for you.
I am technically a princess.
You do have your own castle.
That's true.
And I know multiple men who would come to you as a suitor, and multiple women too, but that's besides the point.
Maybe you should take that into account with the new name, Princess Blank.
Ew.
You were the one who brought it up.
How about
I was
a
making-
moon-based name. Something
Princess Mononoke.
I was gonna
Balloon.
make.
God damn it.
There's a certain ring to it.
Muno no.
I have a thing with the wolves.
Oh.
Great Gale.
I
Don't
think
kill
I
the
think
deer
I
in the
read
forest.
that growing up. I think that's what.
Oh, please. As if anyone in this plane is that insightful to write something that much of a banger. Anyway.
But yeah. I'll keep this going until people are like
Yeah.
asleep or not.
Mhm.
Alright, we need a better party name.
That's kind of also what I like. I was thinking if we kept throwing these out for me, eventually we would stumble on and go, hey, that's not good for me, but I tell you what it is good for.
People names are kind of different from party names.
Are they?
A little bit.
But then I don't necessarily understand the difference between people names and object names or place names. Like, why are they different? I don't know.
If it was my choice, since people keep calling us children, maybe we could go with another foreign word. What's it? Zeitgeist? Means the spirit of an era.
Damn. Profound. I was thinking more like fuck ups or
Oh, that's
like
way better.
the
Children
clusterfuck.
killers.
It's a little bit too
Not
on
that one.
nose, isn't it?
There's only one thing
That
more
was pretty-
dangerous
that
than a child.
No.
Just like fully take on the head of like, it
Just like
He was
covers
like,
him with your hand, just
just like this muffled. He definitely licked your hand as well.
Ew.
Got me out.
It just like starts like changing a little bit, and it's kind of just
That's why
inherently
slightly-
like goosebumps when you're like grossed out, but instead it's like a form shift. It's like no,
just like, Faye.
I dislike that so much. I'm gonna become something else.
You're not a goddamn octopus. You just freak out. You just shift color like a motherfucker.
I do now, apparently.
We're gonna end up
Apparently, when you
splitting
get
the
licked by
difference-
Faye.
Oh, sorry, what'd you say?
Are we gonna end up splitting the difference in calling ourselves the lunatics?
Oh my god, that's amazing. Wait, actually,
That's
that's
not bad.
fantastic.
All in favour of lunatics? Aye.
It's gonna
Actually,
end up sticking.
legitimately, aye.
But if anything, it seems that there's always one name which is the name that the party uses, and then there's the name that the press uses, because the press inevitably look at it and go, "No, that's far too silly."
Why, Kiko? Why do you give a shit what the press thinks?
I don't. That's just a statement of
Good.
fact. That was just a statement of fact.
The children's toys
Yeah,
still all
but-
say moonpigs, I'll put it that way.
Let's focus on the fun stuff.
Mm.
So is that curtain closed for the day session?
You're all there talking. Most of you don't sleep. Honestly, you're glad you guys all decided that you'd do some action after noon, because by the time most of you go to bed, it is 4 or 5 at night.
Dawn we plan.
And dawn we sleep.
And at that, we will end the session. Widdick, your subclass name at present is the Oath of the Unchained.
Sick.
That's also a sick party name.
Hey, yeah, that is. Oath of the Unchained is a sick like metal band name.
it is too.
I would see them at download.
Ah,
That was a joke for K alone.
Yeah.
In your Iron Maiden t-shirt, you fucking scrub.
Listen to
Hey,
Iron
go
Maiden.
fuck yourself.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
Listen to Iron Maiden. Thank you all so much for
Baby.
watching, and we hope to see you all next week.
bye.
Bye.
Love you guys.